Good morning. Good morning, YouTube watchers, or whenever you're watching this. Good day. It is Saturday, November 23rd, 2019. And it's all about, I got to say about that. So, let's do a audio check here. Test, check 1, 2. Those that are on, let me know. Let me get my stuff ready here. There you go. Let me know if the audio is coming through clear enough for all the stations and the rest of you. Appreciate that. Otherwise, sit back, relax, and enjoy. Today we're going to be talking about fur auctions, fur trapping. And then one of my buddies got a mountain lion that was taken off his place, wondering why he's a few calves short this year. So we're going to be talking about that as the season is in full swing, but Zone 1, where I live, the late season starts on Monday, where you can use dogs to go from there. Chuck Hansen, good morning. Hope everything is fine and dandy in Pierre. I'm sure you had a fun week with the latest South Dakota slogan down there. I'm sure everybody's excited to get on top of that, huh? I'll tell you this, I'm tired of all the memes already that are out there. Let's see, what else? That's right. Karen's not filling in Mobridge. It is somebody else watching the teddy bear jail. And she let me know that earlier. And she says, Nick. Okay. Good morning, Nick. Hopefully you're up, ready to go. So there we go. All right. Checking time here. I have 6:54 now. 6:54:04, 5, and 6. That is what my time reads. So hopefully you can back time it a little bit there. No, there's a little delay in what's happening. Let's see what else. That's all I got. Another day. It is the last weekend of deer season here in North Dakota. I see East River starts today in South Dakota. East River deer. Black Hills is still going on. Apprentice and Mentored is still going on. East and West River Antlerless starts December 14th. Archery still good. Muzzleloader December 1st. Custer still going on. All right, good deal. Black Hills Firearms elk season is still going on. Good enough. All right, good. I'm going to call my first guest. Stand by. Bruce Williard, sorry. Scott Bachmeyer. You ready to do this? Have yourselves a little fun. Talk all the tips and techniques on how to get to your mud and frozen mud out of your trap and reset it. Or are you not dealing with that anymore? Yeah. How many days do you let them go at the most before you skin them? I know it's always nice to do it right away, but what do you in your personal life there? I mean, I like to get them done as soon as I can, but sometimes I don't have time, and it sure seems like after the couple days, boy, it's tough as hell there. Yeah, sure. Right. Yeah. Yep. Yeah. Yeah. Well, get out again. Today's last. Well, I guess we last weekend of deer season. Then I can start putting my damn snares out. Is what I want to put out. A little bit more of a fan of snaring than I am of trapping right now. Yeah. Yeah. Right. Yeah, it is. Well, it's froze up again here this morning, so we've had, we got a lot of Forest Service land around us, so people are driving through our hay fields and our trails, which they're not supposed to, but and just boy, did they tear those things up this year, man. I don't know how I have no idea how I'm gonna level the ruts out. I mean, it's so bad right now. Yeah. Yeah. That's what you guys get for going to church every Sunday. Yeah. You guys pray for rain, and that's what you got. Yeah. 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 Golly. I remember that in the 80s there. I remember my dad just struggling to try to get things, just the dirt under control, it was just blowing everywhere. But so, yeah, I'm going to throw you through my system and we're going to make sure that you're feeding through here. Stand by. Okay. All right. Bruce, can you hear me?
Yep.
Okay. Good enough. So the format here, we're going to start at 6 minutes after the hour and we'll go
Okay.
to 8:15 or 8:15 your time. And that's a hard break, and then it's a 5-minute little break, and then we'll come back, and we're out at 8:30. So if for
Okay.
some reason I cut you off, it's just because I have to hit these hard times for the radio stations. Okay,
Okay.
that's all. So we're live on YouTube right now, but we're not live on any radio station. But everything that you're saying is on YouTube, so
Okay.
you can educate everybody for the next 5 minutes before we go on from there and educate them again. So,
Okay.
you guys getting quite a few people signing up furs here, or?
Well, not yet. We just had the poster. We've had our contact information. Joe Martins is the,
I see that, yeah.
and so everybody's just, well, what am I going to do? How I'm going to do it? That sort of thing. And, and we haven't had any real committals yet,
Sure.
but we expect that to be changing fairly soon.
Yeah. Yeah, it was kind of interesting last year. I really enjoyed that a lot.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Plus, it's amazing how many people I knew.
Well,
you just don't know that they're into that business. Some of those guys you just never know that.
Yeah.
Pretty interesting stuff there. So, and of course, all the antlers and everything else a guy can bring in. What was that oil I sold? What was that?
Oh, that the beaver castor glands.
Yeah. What is that used for?
Well, it's used in the perfume industry. And I know it has several other uses, but I guess I really couldn't tell you actually what it's. So all of the uses are for.
Maybe you can sell it to China for an aphrodisiac.
Yeah, I'm not sure. I know because with beaver, fur prices have been just in the tank for some time. So then, the castoreum, what they use for their different things, they're just a short take because, no one's hardly going after beaver. And if they are, beaver trapping, from the moment you start thinking about it until you get them sold, they're a lot of work. They are a lot of work, And so the castoreum, we had 1.2 pounds on the sale last year, and they sold for $54. So so that's worth a fair amount of money for a little bit of just to remove them from the animal. So
it's amazing. When I was in Alaska, and I'll probably say this again when we go on air here, but when I was in Alaska, I stopped at, there's a lot of furriers in Anchorage.
Yep.
And I walked up and down probably within 3 to 4 blocks, there was probably 4 or 5 of those furriers. And it's still a huge thing up there. And beaver and coyotes were, all the clothing that you walked in and saw, except the high dollar, like wolf clothing and all that, of course. But they're huge into that still. And it's kind of fun to see that. Wanted to buy a coyote hat. And the different qualities. There was a Russian-made one for like $150, and then you put on the locally made one right there that furrier makes his own in Alaska, and that one was like $425. And you could definitely tell the quality just by handling it and wearing it. But didn't come home with it. So I'm gonna have to find one somewhere else. All right, we got 60 seconds, and we're going to get started here. So I'm going to turn you down. You'll be able to hear me, and I'm going to be just communicating with the stations a little bit, and we'll start from there, okay? Stand by.
All righty.
All right. All right. Good morning, Nick, Mike. Jesse's up and at 'em this early in the morning. Holy cow. Little bum diggity. All right. Stations and 20 seconds on Mark. And here we go. 5. Yeah, good morning, everybody, and welcome to the Saturday edition, live edition of Dakota Prairie Outdoors. I'm your host, Scott Bachmeyer, here this morning. And, we have the opportunity to talk outdoors, issues that may involve you and your livelihood, or just a few good stories to make your last weekend of deer season in North Dakota side just a little bit better. While South Dakota, it's their opening of East River deer season today. West River is open until December 1st, and of course the Black Hills season is open till next weekend, November 30th. And we'll cover some other hunting dates here as we go along here. We have a kind of a cool show here this morning. As in the first half, we're going to be talking about the Fur Takers Association Wild Fur Auction and just talk fur in general. So if you have any questions, comments about that, please feel free to call. The toll-free number is 888-9-DAKOTA. That's 888-932-5682. You'll automatically be put on hold when you call in, so just stand by, and I will get to your phone calls as soon as we can. Again, that's 888-9-DAKOTA for the free toll-free number here. As the North Dakota deer season comes to a close here this Sunday evening, that means more seasons are going to be opening up, such as night vision and thermal for coyotes here. Zone 1 mountain lion season starts on Monday, as with everything here, and cable devices to be able to take fur starts on Monday on the North Dakota side. So as fur season is in full swing, and with me for the first half of the show is Bruce Williard from the Fur Takers Association. Good morning, Bruce. How you doing this morning?
Pretty darn good,
You're out of Carrington area, is that right?
Yes.
Yeah. What's the weather like there this morning?
It's actually clear. The sun will be shining. It said it's 30 degrees out. It's really quite nice, but for all of the farmers that were hoping the fields would be froze to get around on, It's going to get too warm again.
A lot of crops still up in your neck of the woods. I guess over here on this side, there's a lot of corn and flowers still around, but they've been picking away at it. How about over there, east side?
Yeah, there's still quite a bit of soybeans yet, and almost all of the corn, and the majority of the sunflowers also.
Has it put a damper on the deer hunting for rifle season?
Well, in some areas, yeah, because that's where the deer are all at around here. I don't know. I see deer all the time milling around, but with the lower deer licenses, there's just less people out driving around. I know I commented to my wife this morning, boy, there sure isn't the people drive by here like there used to be,
You know where they're at, Bruce?
The deer?
No, you know where the people, you know where they're at?
Well, some people have gotten their deer, and I guess I really couldn't tell you.
They're out here. I'll tell you, they're driving they're driving through my yard like 50 times a day.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well,
because they added.
I'm sure you're happy to see them.
Well, if they would have stayed on the section line, that'd be one thing. But well, last weekend of me having to complain about it and go check fences, I guess, all the time. So it is what it is. 16 days of just making sure people are in the right place sometimes. Yesterday, I had to help with, we have a big plots land south of us here. And, what gets me, Bruce, is when people are right at the end of the deer season, they will take what I call a non-ethical shot. And it's just too bad. I was out trying to get a bull in, and father-in-law came up and he says, hey, he said somebody hind quartered a deer and it's limping across some fields up here, and we had to go up, and he used his tag to put on it and just took it out of its misery, I guess, a little bit. But I hate to see that when it comes to the last week and people are taking those shots that are probably not as ethical as they could if they just relax a little bit more. But let's talk about furs here. As we coming up here, we have the Fur Takers Association Wild Fur Auction, January 17th and 18th coming around. That's going to be held in Bismarck. And I tell you what, I was your auctioneer last year, and I have to say I had a great time, and it was real interesting to see what buyers are looking at when it comes to the different grades of furs. And tell us a little bit about the fur auction coming up here, and then we'll get into it a little bit deeper.
Well, it'll be our third annual fur auction in January. The North Dakota Fur Takers always had a fur sale years ago, and then with the lower fur prices and less people attend, being members, and there hadn't been a fur sale for 30 years. Well, then Mike Leon from Devil's Lake, he was the main instrumental person. He says, well, let's do the fur sale. So then we did the first year, and it went really well. And last year was better. And it's just nice to get a bunch of producers together, in one central location, and so you can attract a bunch of buyers. And we do obviously, with you were the auctioneer last year. We have a live sale, and you know how a live sale is. Sometimes people get bidding and more than they would like, and other times they don't. But it's worked out really well for us.
Well, it's the fair market value way of figuring out what the price is on that day is auction. So as they say in auction school, auction way is the best way. Gives you that fair market value. Coming up here. So part of this, though, you need to be a Fur Takers Association member in order not only to be, not even to get in the door, you have to be a member of this, don't you?
Yes.
Yeah. And why is that? I mean, I know why, but explain to other folks here why.
Well, because it's a service provided by the association for the members, and we're not holding anybody up too much. It's $20 a year,
right?
And and then just so you kind of have a little control of this, who's coming in the door, what are they doing, how come they're there, and our floor. Once you consign your furs, then we put them on the tables for the buyers to grade and look at, and go through them and get it jotted down in their catalog so they know what they're able to pay for those, because we're just selling by the lot numbers when they're consigned. We're not holding up each one, and so they all know. And so the floor is off limits, but that's why we want everybody to be a member, and because we're providing a service for our members,
and it keeps those crazies out too.
Well, that's,
to a point,
maybe part of it also. Yeah.
Because you know what, when you're talking fur industry, there's all kinds of people that are up in arms against that and all that kind of good stuff. So it's just part of having to protect your members a little bit too. I guess that's how it is. You let me in the door though, so I don't know. There's a crazy guy coming in.
Even though you look like a shade tree fellow, we still.
He's telling me I got to wear a tuxedo when I come and do the auction this year.
Of course not.
Yeah, no. Well, hey, Bruce, stand by. We're up against our first break here. We're going to be coming back, and we're going to be talking not only a little bit more about the fur auction, but fur trapping all in general here as we get to start using some snares here on Monday. And it's been a little bit different. It's been a wet season in the Dakota Territory, North and South. Could have been talking to a few people having a little issues with their traps. So we'll talk about that and more coming up. We have all kinds of coyote tournaments coming up your way, and I'm going to be reading through those here in the next 40-50 minutes, as I've been getting a lot of folks sending them to me, and you feel free to do it. You can Facebook message it to me. You can also email them to me, scott@ndsupernet.com, and I'll make sure to try it not only on the Saturday show here, but I also try to get them announced on my daily program as well. More coming up. KFYR Bismarck, KOLY in Mobridge, KGFX in Pierre. More Dakota Prairie Outdoors after these messages.
Dakota Community Wealth Management's trust advisors use your wealth to support your family and those you care about. Whether you are just beginning to accumulate wealth or already have significant assets, our wealth management and trust professionals offer a complete array of customizable services to fit your needs. Visit dakotacommunitybank.com or ask for Dakota Community Wealth Management Department to ensure your legacy.
Mandan Sporting Goods, 210 East Main. Joe's with me here once again. We're talking ammunition. You want one of the largest selection of ammunition. Joe, why do you carry so many, and prices are better than box stores? What's going on?
Well, you got to make the price to where everybody can kind of afford it. We still have to keep the lights on, but you want to make it so everybody can still shoot. And the wide selection, we have a lot of oddball calibers that nobody else covers, but hey, if they want it, they come in, they get it.
One of those oddball calibers is?
Well, this morning I got some 30-40 Craig. Nobody else had it. I got it. And then there's a few of them like that.
If a person's looking for the widest selection of ammunition, even if it's a little bit oddball, is that including you guys here, the oddballs too?
We're all just nice guys. We're not oddballs.
210 East Main. It's Mandan Sporting Goods. Stop by.
We want amazing innovations to drive progress for generations. We want jobs and careers for generations. We want American energy production that protects our land and the wildlife for generations. Today, the advanced technologies deployed by the North Dakota oil and gas producers are making that happen. And with the promise of emerging technologies, the energy of North Dakota has a very bright future for generations to come. This message is brought to you by the North Dakota Petroleum Council. To learn more, visit energyofnorthdakota.com.
Hi, this is Kevin Pfeiffer with Pfeiffer's Auction Company. Pfeiffer's upcoming November land auctions include crop, pasture, and hunting land auctions in Oliver, Stark, Trail, Bottineau, Golden Valley, Cavalier, Pembina, and Grand Forks counties in North Dakota, and the following counties in Minnesota: Ottertail, Clay, Becker, and Nicollet. For more information, call Pfeiffer's 877-700-4099 or view all of these auctions and many more at pfeifers.com.
The North Dakota Stockman's Foundation will host a night of fun-filled Western elegance at the Stockman's Ball, December 7th in Bismarck. Come enjoy prime rib, auctions, entertainment, and dancing to the music of Kyle Schob and the Wacom Boys. Build a legacy for the state's cattle industry through the foundation, which provides scholarships, disaster relief, research support, and more. For ball tickets, call 223-2522. That's the Stockman's Ball, December 7th in Bismarck.
Western Frontier Insurance. Agents that understand you, your needs, and the community. Whether you're looking for coverage on your farm, ranch, home, or auto, you can trust that Western Frontier Insurance will find you a combination of price and coverage that works for you. No fancy jingles, no talking boxes or animals, just good neighbors helping to keep you covered. Western Frontier Insurance. Offices in Hazen, Washburn, and Wilton.
As a leader in farm and ranch insurance in North Dakota, Dakota Community Insurance understands the importance of protecting all aspects of your operation, no matter how large or small. Your Dakota Community Insurance agent can customize an insurance package to cover your farm equipment, livestock, farm buildings, and crops. For more information, call your local Dakota Community Bank and Trust or visit dakotacommunitybank.com.
Hi, this is Andy Murdoch with Pfeiffer's Auctioneers, offering an exceptional lineup of equipment auctions this November, featuring farm equipment auctions in Beach, Grassy Butte, Steele, and Williston, North Dakota, offering Case and John Deere combines, John Deere Case and Versatile tractors, John Deere 4940 and 4730 sprayers, Case floaters, hopper bins, semi-trucks, trailers, and more. Pfeiffer's will also be hosting equipment auctions in Harvey, Tuttle, New England, Churches Ferry, and Bowman. Online bidding, full inventory lists, and over 40 land auctions are available at pfeifers.com.
The North Dakota Stockman's Foundation will host a night of fun-filled Western elegance at the Stockman's Ball, December 7th in Bismarck. Come enjoy prime rib, auctions, entertainment, and dancing to the music of Kyle Schob and the Wacom Boys. Build a legacy for the state's cattle industry through the foundation, which provides scholarships, disaster relief, research support, and more. For ball tickets, call 223-2522. That's the Stockman's Ball, December 7th in Bismarck.
We want amazing innovations to drive progress for generations. We want jobs and careers for generations. We want American energy production that protects our land and the wildlife for generations. Today, the advanced technologies deployed by the North Dakota oil and gas producers are making that happen. And with the promise of emerging technologies, the energy of North Dakota has a very bright future for generations to come. This message is brought to you by the North Dakota Petroleum Council. To learn more, visit energyofnorthdakota.com.
In 5 seconds. Welcome back, everybody. Dakota Prairie Outdoors live Saturday edition here, broadcasting from the Badlands, as we call it here, a little piece of heaven. I have Bruce Williard from the North Dakota Fur Takers Association with me here. And, you know, we were talking about your fur auction last year. Let's talk, Bruce, a little bit about prices. So this year, right now, and I've only been seeing carcass prices right now, the prices look strong. Some of the buyers out there, I mean, they're giving up to upwards of $85 is what I heard on carcass for some of these coyotes. And is that going to hold again all the way through this year? What's your opinion on that?
Well, the way it sounds, it very well could. Of course, you know, it's a fur market is a pretty volatile situation.
Sure.
But it, you know, there's a lot of demand for the coyote. For the trim market is a big item, and And last year, I think the take was a little short, and this year here, of course, the coyotes a lot of pressure on it between trapping, snaring, hunting. The overall numbers are down from what they have been, but and I know in our area with the mud, boy, they're just not very receptive. It's really hard trapping, and so I believe it looks like the fur market that the coyote will maintain its level for most of the year.
Sure.
I guess after the first of the year, you never know, but it appears like it should. Because last year, NAPA, their last sales were quite strong.
Right.
So,
and we lost North American fur. I mean, they went belly up now. So, I mean, what is that going to do? I mean, there's got to be other people that are going to step into their place and be able to be that.
Well, there definitely is. And then last year, the first 2 years we had a sale in January and then just let it go at that. Well, with NAPA closing, our association, our board of directors, we talked about it and decided, well, we need to have another sale in March, which we've got scheduled for March 20th and 21st to provide a little more service for our members. And so there's a lot of furs that that were put up later after our January sale from snaring, shooting, whatnot, and so they have an outlet for them.
Sure. Well, let's talk about prices from last year, or I should say this year, because we just had it in January of this year, 2019. Let's talk about some of the prices from that auction, and what we potentially could see again here, maybe even up a little bit. But I'm thinking it's going to hold pretty steady. So you have some results from this last auction. Let's talk a little bit about the prices. Let's start with, do you have any on carcass versus green skin versus a fully put up coyotes?
Yes.
And of course, it all determines on grade of the coyote too. I understand that, but we could hit some of the highlights here.
Okay, coyotes. Our carcass coyotes, we had 54 offered, and they sold for 100%, and they averaged $45.
Okay,
which was really pretty light. But we had almost 800 finished coyotes,
right?
And they averaged $99.
And finished is what people are looking for. There's no doubt about it. I mean, it's a lot less work when they come to that auction. They don't want to go home with a pickup full of carcass coyotes and say, well, guess what we're going to do tonight all night long, right?
Yeah.
Working on that. So give us some tips on finishing your coyotes the right way. I shouldn't say, okay, let's give me some tips on finishing it your way, because you said another buddy of yours are the highest priced finished furs on the auction each year.
Yeah, there last year, like with the 800 finished coyotes, and the top price was $130,
right?
That was myself, and another Michael Leon. He got 125 for his, and he does the air wall system. He never turns them; just blows air through the dryer. I shoot all of my coyotes when they're in the trap. I'm not concerned because I wash them all.
Sure.
And then if I get blood on them, if there's mud on them, I wash them all with Downy fabric softener, horse mane and tail shampoo. There's some pretty amazing products out there to spruce them up, make them look good. And when I tell people, I say, when you trade your pickup off, they don't put it on the lot full of mud.
No.
They get it shiny, they get it looking as good as you can. And everything out there sells by appearance. The better you can make it look, the more attractive it looks. Well, man, this guy's really put some work in him, and I'm going to pay right up for him.
Yeah.
So, that's the whole concept of it.
Mm-hmm. Horse, mane, and tail. We used to use that as kids. Now you're using it on coyotes, huh?
Yeah. Well, it's just a hair.
Yeah.
Like they're coyotes a lot of times, it depends upon where they're at. They're going to have a lot of burrs and cockle burrs, sand burrs, all that stuff that gets bedded in. And, like you go to hair care products, tangle free, no more tears, a few squirts of that and they comb out fairly easy.
Yeah.
I mean, it's just hair. You got to think about it in that way, and by washing them when the fur is wetter, and I always wash them, hang them, wash them, rinse them, wash them, hang them, and then the next day you can comb when they're still damp, you can comb the burrs on out fairly good. And if they're not coming on out good, a few squirts of this no more tears or tangle free. And well, I don't have a real issue getting them out, and then I found out, and other people have said that, and I've read it, that after you wash them, they flush easier, so I just wash all of mine, even if they're not bloody, because it's just amazing how much dirt is in them.
Yeah.
And then even though they look good and everything, but you get them spruced on up. That's the whole key. No matter what you do, the more you put into them, the better you're gonna get out of them.
So after the auction in Bismarck, those buyers, where did they take them from there? If they bought yours for $130 a piece, where did that buyer? What was his next step after that?
Well, most every buyer has a buyer that they're selling to.
Okay.
And I hear and I know, but I don't remember everything. But these are not destination buyers. They're going on from there somewhere else, and that I really couldn't. It's not a. I really couldn't say. Yeah. I don't know.
Well, they're taking your coyotes, buying them for 130. They're probably going to be turning around selling them $200, $220 sometimes. And I know up in the Canadian fur auction up there, they get up pretty high up that way too. So
yeah.
Well,
but most of these buyers, they're not relying on the fur auction because that's kind of sketchy. They have a determined price, what they know they can buy, what they're going to get for them, and it's just like marketing grain, contract price. You have to know your end, what you're really working with, and
right. Well, tell us a little bit here, as we only have 60 seconds. January 17th and March 20th, or 17th, 18th, March 2021. What do people, if they want furs, they want to do this, what are the steps? Who do they contact? How do they get in touch with you?
Well, on our for sale poster, which is listed on our North Dakota Fur Takers website, and we'll be getting some of those scattered around. And Joe Martin in Fargo is the contact person, and his telephone number's on there, and he's the one to contact. And because he's a real computer guy.
Sure. I'm going to give him a hard time. He can't be that much of a computer guy. He still has an AOL.com email address. Who's got that?
Well, I still, there's different degrees of computer guys. I can guarantee you that. I'm not much of a real, I can turn mine on and off. That's about it.
Right. Well, Bruce, I appreciate you taking time. You have yourself a good weekend and enjoy it, man. We'll talk to you soon, okay?
All righty. Well, thank you there, Scott.
You bet. Bruce Williard, North Dakota Fur Takers Association. Get more information right from them and their website, and you can find them, I'm sure, on many other social media formats. More coming up. Second half of the program. Guess what? Mountain lion taken close by. We'll talk about that right after these messages.
Dakota Community Wealth Management's trust advisors use your wealth to support your family and those you care about. Whether you are just beginning to accumulate wealth or already have significant assets, our wealth management and trust professionals offer a complete array of customizable services to fit your needs. Visit dakotacommunitybank.com or ask for Dakota Community Wealth Management Department to ensure your legacy.
Mandan Sporting Goods, 210 East Main. Joe's with me here once again. We're talking ammunition. You want one of the largest selection of ammunition. Joe, why do you carry so many? And prices are better than box stores. What's going on?
Well, you got to make the price to where everybody can kind of afford it. I mean, we still have to keep the lights on, but, you want to make it so everybody can still shoot. And the wide selection, we have a lot of oddball calibers that nobody else covers, but hey, if they want it, they come in, they get it.
One of those oddball calibers is?
Well, this morning I got some 30-40 Craig. Nobody else had it. I got it. And then there's a few of them like that.
If a person's looking for the widest selection of ammunition, even if it's a little bit oddball, is that including you guys here, the oddballs too?
We're all just nice guys. We're not oddballs.
210 East Main. It's Mandan Sporting Goods. Stop by.
We want amazing innovations to drive progress for generations. We want jobs and careers for generations. We want American energy production that protects our land and the wildlife for generations. Today, the advanced technologies deployed by the North Dakota oil and gas producers are making that happen. And with the promise of emerging technologies, the energy of North Dakota has a very bright future for generations to come. This message is brought to you by the North Dakota Petroleum Council. To learn more, visit energyofnorthdakota.com.
Hi, this is Kevin Pfeiffer with Pfeiffer's Auction Company. Pfeiffer's upcoming November land auctions include crop, pasture, and hunting land auctions in Oliver, Stark, Trail, Bottineau, Golden Valley, Cavalier, Pembina, and Grand Forks counties in North Dakota, and the following counties in Minnesota: Otter Tail, Clay, Becker, and Nicollet. For more information, call Pfeiffer's 877-700-4099 or view all of these auctions and many more at Pfeiffers.com.
The North Dakota Stockmen's Foundation will host a night of fun-filled Western elegance at the Stockmen's Ball, December 7th in Bismarck. Come enjoy prime rib, auctions, entertainment, and dancing to the music of Kyle Schob and the Wacom Boys. Build a legacy for the state's cattle industry through the foundation, which provides scholarships, disaster relief, research support, and more. For ball tickets, call 223-2522. That's the Stockmen's Ball, December 7th in Bismarck.
Western Frontier Insurance. Agents that understand you, your needs, and the community. Whether you're looking for coverage on your farm, ranch, home, or auto, you can trust that Western Frontier Insurance will find you a combination of price and coverage that works for you. No fancy jingles, no talking boxes or animals, just good neighbors helping to keep you covered. Western Frontier Insurance. Offices in Hazen, Washburn, and Wilton.
As a leader in farm and ranch insurance in North Dakota, Dakota Community Insurance understands the importance of protecting all aspects of your operation, no matter how large or small. Your Dakota Community Insurance agent can customize an insurance package to cover your farm equipment, livestock, farm buildings, and crops. For more information, call your local Dakota Community Bank and Trust or visit dakotacommunitybank.com.
Hi, this is Andy Murdoch with Pfeiffer's Auctioneers, offering an exceptional lineup of equipment auctions this November, featuring farm equipment auctions in Beach, Grassy Butte, Steele, and Williston, North Dakota, offering Case and John Deere combines, John Deere Case and Versatile tractors, John Deere 4940 and 4730 sprayers, Case floaters, hopper bins, semi-trucks, trailers, and more. Pfeiffer's will also be hosting equipment auctions in Harvey, Tuttle, New England, Churches Ferry, and Bowman. Online bidding, full inventory lists, and over 40 land auctions are available at Pfeiffers.com.
The North Dakota Stockmen's Foundation will host a night of fun-filled Western elegance at the Stockmen's Ball, December 7th in Bismarck. Come enjoy prime rib, auctions, entertainment, and dancing to the music of Kyle Schob and the Wacom Boys. Build a legacy for the state's cattle industry through the foundation, which provides scholarships, disaster relief, research support, and more. For ball tickets, call 223-2522. That's the Stockmen's Ball, December 7th in Bismarck.
We want amazing innovations to drive progress for generations. We want jobs and careers for generations. We want American energy production that protects our land and the wildlife for generations. Today, the advanced technologies deployed by the North Dakota oil and gas producers are making that happen. And with the promise of emerging technologies, the energy of North Dakota has a very bright future for generations to come. This message is brought to you by the North Dakota Petroleum Council. To learn more, visit energyofnorthdakota.com.
All right, 5 second stations. Welcome back, everybody. Dakota Prairie Outdoors Saturday edition, the live and local edition. 888-9-DAKOTA is the phone number if you want to call in and join in on the outdoor talk here. Very quickly, I'm going to go through my pile of coyote tournament / buck contest. Big buck contest Saturday, December 7th, Lincoln, North Dakota. The Winter Classic Coyote Hunt in Mandan, North Dakota, December 6th and 7th. Go to coyotehunter.net for more information. 2019 Central Morton Sportsman's Club, New Salem, North Dakota Coyote Tournament, December 7th. The 5th annual Cheyenne River Classic Coyote Calling Contest. That's going to be December 13th and 14th, 8 miles east of Eagle Butte, South Dakota. 3rd annual Dunn County Christmas for Kids Coyote Hunt is December 13th and 14th. The Randy Rohde 3rd annual Memorial Statewide Coyote Calling Contest out of Pierre, South Dakota, Saturday, December 14th. The Youth Coyote Hunt, December 27th and 28th, Long Valley Hall, Long Valley, South Dakota, just west side of Highway 73 is coming up here. Miles City, Montana Coyote Calling Contest, January 3rd and 4th. 18th Annual North Dakota Coyote Classic in Bowman, North Dakota, January 10th and 11th. The Epping Rural Fire Department Ice Fishing Tournament, a little different there, January 11th at the Big Water. The 9th Annual Rock Lake Boosters Coyote Hunt and Raffle, February 14th, 15th, and 16th. And the January 18th, 2020 Garrett Houghton Benefit Coyote Hunt is coming up. 2-man teams, and that is going to be Farabee Shop up in that Halliday, North Dakota area. So there you go. Lots going on. John Palczewski is my guest for the second half of the program. John, good morning.
Good morning, Scott.
We're not short of coyote hunting tournaments. If we want to be like professionals, there's plenty of them going on, isn't there?
Well, we're professionals. I wouldn't say it's coyote hunt, but we're professionals at something by now.
We're professionals at something here. So, not only are we going to talk mountain lions because you had one taken on some land that you run on, but first, you got puppies. You got hunting puppies, and they might be mountain lion hunting puppies now. Who knows?
Yeah, we got a litter of purebred yellow labs here about 5 weeks ago. So if anybody needs a Christmas present or a new hunting dog, they'll be ready to go the week before Christmas. So
okay,
yeah, they're looking good. They're pretty cute little buggers, and they're starting to drive them warm up. So it's time to get them sold and out the door.
Yeah, well, if people are interested in hunting dogs, I mean, is that a good time to have one right now throughout the winter months? So they're old enough that you can start training them right away in the spring. Is that kind of what the method of madness is for those?
Yeah, I think that would be the perfect time. So you can get it raised up to a winter here and trained up, and then by next fall it'd be ready for that first season of birds to be something of use for you.
Yeah. Well, mountain lion talk. Let's talk about this here. You're running some land up north of Scranton, North Dakota, and you're short a few calves now.
Yeah, I hear people up here losing livestock to big predators before, but I'd say about a week ago, 10 days ago, we went and rounded up cattle up north. And it's mostly farmland up there, but it's when we loaded the truck and I recounted, I noticed I was probably missing about 8 calves.
Yeah.
And then I got to thinking about it, and I was up there the first week in October. I was doing some fall fencing, and I'm walking along Creek Bank, and I see this pretty good sized paw print. At that point, I knew right away it was a mountain lion.
Yeah.
And then I talked to a few people around town, and there's some farmers that jumped it and seen it probably 2 weeks before I did. So now we're 3 months into it. This mountain lion was still on the same place up there. And some hunters seen it time itself yesterday morning, and they were able to get it shot and killed. And it was, I guess, as a crow flies, it's probably about 8 miles north and east of Scranton.
Yeah. Well, I don't know if you're moving around a little bit, John. You're getting a little bit in and out service there, so I know you might need to upgrade your cell phone one of these days.
Well, I did. I moved up to the iPhone world. That's what the problem is.
Oh, that's the problem? Okay, I see. I'm having a fight online right now with somebody that's a Droid fan, so we'll see how that goes. Maybe it's just maybe that's the service. Anyway, mountain lion season zone 1, which is over here in my neck of the woods, John, starts Monday for the late season, what they call late season. That's where you can use dogs. Okay.
Did they ever get the first season filled up?
I'll look for you.
I don't,
quota? They used to have it right on their main page all the time, the quota all the time. And they redid their whole page, so it's a little bit harder to find sometimes, but I'll find it here shortly.
Yeah,
and,
I get also side note about coyotes. I just want everybody let everybody know that Scott saved a coyote this morning.
I saved one.
You saved a coyote, yep.
Oh.
Yeah, I left my house to go up on a hill here. 1 mile from my house, I could see a coyote out wandering around there, and usually when I see a coyote that close, it gets shot and killed, but I had to be important on the phone.
You got to be important. Okay, so the early season in Zone 1, which is the Badlands of North Dakota, They had a harvest limit of 8, and there was only 5 taken to as of November 21st.
Okay.
2
Does
days
that
ago, there
say
was
how
5.
many were taken in zone 2 then, the rest of the state?
No, because there is no limit
Mhm.
in zone 2. And I wish they would tell us that, because somebody told me this earlier. Who did I talk to? I was on the road somewhere and we were talking mountain lions, and they said that in zone 2, which is basically Highway 85, the rest of North Dakota, since there is no limit, they said that there was rumors of a substantial number. I'll just say that. I'm not going to give a number because, I don't know it for sure. The guy said 40 plus, but there's a lot more mountain lions taken over there than there are in the Badlands.
Yeah.
And, that's crazy, man. And South Dakota starts their season at the end of the year, and I'll check their limit here shortly too, but they've been dropping theirs a little bit as well. But yeah, so zone 1, you can use dogs over here, but on your side of the highway, it's on, man. And it looks like the picture that you sent me, it looks like was that a female or a male? It looks like a big female.
I did get reported 120 pound 2-year-old males.
It was
estimate. Yep.
2-year-old
it
male.
was a male.
Okay.
So that's what concerns me. If it was a 2-year-old male, and aren't they supposed to be transient at this point and just roaming around?
There's a lot of rumors about different ways, so I'm not going to jump into it.
Yeah, but at this point, I know that lion was living with my cows for at least 3 months.
Right.
Within the same half mile.
Yep. And why wouldn't it? You got cover, you got water, you got food.
Yep.
They're not just a Badlands animal. They can make their home anywhere. It's a cat.
Yeah, and for people wondering if they suspect they got a mountain lion around or not, but even the landowner and I were talking the first part of October, we quit seeing all the coyotes up there. We didn't see any more deer. It's prime country because I had a bunch of corn up there right in that creek, and we'd see deer all summer long running around the yards and in and out of the grain fields. And come that first week of October, I mean, we didn't see nothing.
Right.
Everything just disappears through that whole area.
Yeah. It's pretty evident when you have something, a big animal, big predator, as I like to call them. So the biologists say that an average mountain lion will take down 1 deer every 6 to 8 days. So 1 deer a week, roughly.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Yeah.
I mean, 8 calves over 2 months, that's about the same equivalent. So
it is. And why wouldn't you go after a calf? They're slower than deer.
Right. Yep.
And the way you feed them, good grief.
There's a good cow you down here.
Yeah.
No doubt about it.
Fatten them up nice and thick, didn't you? So, but yeah, it's interesting to see that here. So, we'll see how zone 1, starting Monday when they use dogs, usually that one fills up a little bit faster, especially if they get some snow on the ground. They can track them a lot easier with those dogs. And, some people just do that for fun. They just tree them, then they pull their dogs off and they go out and try to track another one down. It's kind of a.
Well, I'd have a hard time walking away from a live mountain lion sitting 10 feet above me in the air.
Well, you have to.
Really
the
would.
limit. And where I live, yeah, I have to. That's just part of it. If it's filled up, you got to walk away.
Yeah.
So, but we did cut some tracks over in this area here, and it's been muddy. It's been pretty easy to find tracks lately, and closer to the river, of course. But I have to.
Yeah. First good snow we get. The next first good snow, I'll be up there.
Yeah. Question is, are you going to send a bill to anybody for the cost of the calves that you lost?
That's the great thing about the Game and Fish. They want to own all these wild animals until something goes wrong like this, and then they say it's not their fault. They're animals that they own and sell tags for are harming our livestock.
I don't know if they say they own them.
Well, they sure make money
argue
selling
on
tags off selling them. So,
Well, that's why there's no limit on zone 2. There is no cost for you.
Yeah.
So there you go.
Still, you take 8 times $1,000. That's a pretty good loss in 2 months.
I can do that math.
Yep.
I can do that math easily. So yeah. So Coyotes, did you hear the first half of the show?
I did.
Okay.
I did, yep.
So here's what you need to do. Spend your $20, take your furs up to that auction, man.
Well, mine are all greenskin, so I don't know how that will.
Well, we'll find out. The best way is the auction way. I'll sell them for you. You just can't put a reserve on them. You just got to get rid of them.
Yeah, the only thing is that auction ain't till January, and I kind of like to have some cash for Christmas. So.
Oh, I see. Yeah, that's right. You got kids you got to deal with.
Kids and puppy chow.
Well, if people start, calling you up here and wanting to buy a puppy, you don't have to worry about the puppy chow.
Yeah, we're down to 3 males. What we got left.
Okay.
And the one male, we're fortunate enough. I call her the perfect dog. I mean, she'll go out and hunt all day long. You bring her inside the house, she'll go right to her place, and she'll just sit there and rest. And she's not bouncing around and running around the house. She's just probably the perfect personality for anybody that wants a hunting dog and a family dog.
Good with kids and everything.
Great with kids, and there's one little male that's got like a spitting image personality of hers. So
okay,
who ends up with him is going to be probably the luck of the draw the whole litter.
Yeah. Well, I know a guy in Hazen that's got two little girls that needs a hunting dog.
He does.
He needs something to give him some exercise to go out and have that ambition to go after pheasants, or I don't know. You could train it to go after coyotes, I suppose, couldn't you?
Yeah. Definitely something. And I suppose he could use it for emotional support dog for himself too, and when he's feeling down and out.
Emotional support. Get a little vest on it. Go through airports with an emotional support dog.
Labs are great emotional support dogs.
Are they really? Okay.
Yep, they sure are.
Well, my cow dog is. I'll tell you that right now. So, last weekend of North Dakota deer season, John. I know you're more cropland where you live. You got more section line roads, and things are more of a square grid in your neck of the woods. How's the traffic been on this last weekend for you?
The traffic's been slower this last weekend, but you can dang sure see every section line road's got a deep rut in it now from last weekend. And the frost came out, and people kept driving on, and people were getting stuck, and it's a big mess. I mean, this moisture we got this fall was great for going next year, but it's kind of excessive moisture we're sitting with. It's water sitting around, and it's just tough to get anything done with all the mud.
Yeah, we got some pretty deep ruts up this way too. We don't know exactly how we're going to get them fixed up, but people are taking unethical shots, man. I had to help out with a deer yesterday. Did you hear that story?
Yeah. That's part of the game. It's going to happen. You don't like to see it, but we all know it does happen. So
it does. Just sometimes you just need to get out of your pickup once in a while and walk a little bit, I think. I don't know. Is that like a strange thing? I mean, isn't that not what the hunting is anymore, or what?
That's why I gave up deer hunting 3 years ago, because anytime I try to walk or go spot deer, there'd be 5 vehicles driving around where I was at, because they know my pickup. They try to figure out a nice buck spot. So I just gave up deer hunting just because there's just too many people driving around all day long.
Now they see you. Now they see you walking out there. You're coyote hunting. They're still following you.
Well, not when I'm coyote hunting. I don't have to wear orange, so they don't see me at all. and then they don't hear me shoot either, because with the suppression. So
isn't that nice?
Yep.
Isn't that nice? Yep. We have our other one coming sometime here. Hopefully by next year we'll have it. We'll have the secondary ones on our rifles, so we don't have to unscrew it and screw it onto a different rifle. Of course, you keep yours on one, but you don't share with your wife.
I'm ready for some night hunting. That's what I'd really like to get in. So if anybody wants to sponsor these 2 Built Cowboys with some thermal scopes, we'd love to try them out for you and come eliminate some coyotes if you just help sponsor our scopes for us.
That's right. Yeah, we can do that. We know one guy that's got one, and he doesn't even share the wealth. That's the thing.
Yeah.
I have a digital night vision that I loaned to him. He wins a coyote tournament. I don't care if he used it or not, but at least I loaned it to him. And then here he sits, and he's not coyote hunting at all, and he's got one all ready and set up, and here I am. I don't get it.
You almost think he was from East River or something.
Oh man, I tell you what, he's going to call in one of these times, and we're going to run out of time just in time for this too.
Just in time. So that's if you got a puppy, you'd have that emotional support where it stabilizes his mood.
Settle the blood pressure down a little bit.
Yeah.
So he's
when's the Sturgis tournament coming up?
I don't know. I've been looking all over for the Sturgis tournament for the ambulance squad down there, and
Sturgis and Bison. Yeah.
I got to figure out where exactly and when exactly that's going to be coming up here. It's got to be pretty close, isn't it?
Yeah, I'd say it's probably if it ain't the Stockman's ball weekend, it's probably the week after.
Right. Yeah, we might have to miss that,
Yeah.
which isn't going to look good. because if we won it last year and we don't show up the next year, you know what they're going to say.
Yep. They say, whoever they are.
They're going to call us cheaters.
No, I think we're good because I think we knew half the people down there between your radio show and my relatives. So
I got a guy. He says he'll check into the Sturgis one today for us and send us information. Thanks, Ivan. I appreciate that. Yeah, that's a fun tournament that way. But man, what a lot of tournaments coming up around the corner. You're going to see a lot of hopefully a lot more coyotes, but on the ground. But I've got to tell you, John, the population in my area, and how hard we try to hunt all winter long, and it's still talk about a renewable resource. Holy cow!
Yeah, it's the amount that we're taking. I took out down here last year, and I know there was 3 or 4 different guys trapping it. They're just as thick, if not thicker, than they were last year.
Yeah. It's one of those things where the more you take out, the more they breed, I guess. Isn't that the wives' tale?
And then, of course, you go uptown like, oh, we don't hardly see any coyotes this year. I'm like, well, how many crops are still standing out there?
Right.
Well, same thing with the pheasants. Game fish, claim pheasants were down 7 to 10% down here, and I can go to one quarter of my land. They're up 10,000% because they're all in one field. They're all right in the cornfield.
Yeah. Well. That's why we're not biologists, John.
Yeah, we're just common sense cowboys, huh?
I guess. I don't know. Some people would differ. I don't know if they'd agree with that either. Because some of the stuff we do, common sense is thrown out the window. We do have to have a voice of reason with us in some areas.
Oh, I got some movement out here. I'm sitting on top of the hill where someone I know took a coyote at 815 yards a couple years ago. No, just a deer.
I know exactly where you're talking about, too.
Yep.
Yeah, that was the longest shot I've ever had on a coyote. Was confirmed where somebody else was there to actually witness that.
Yeah, it's the miracle shot on snow.
The miracle shot. Yeah. So, all right, John. How do people, if they want a puppy, we're up against the break here, so we're gonna have to let you go. If they want a puppy, good hunting dog. I know Daryl Lee's got one from you, and he's happy with it. I'm sure all the other folks, you have them shipped over all across the nation and North and South Dakota, especially a lot of them head down south. So how do they get in touch with you?
We got another one going to Texas again this year, but just call me on my cell phone, 701-449-9259.
And
if I don't answer, I'm probably in a coyote blind, so just leave a message.
Okay. Or if you don't recognize the number, you can always start with, would you like to, increase your car's extended warranty?
Yeah, or just answer North Dakota Attorney General's office. That usually gets them going.
I use that quite a bit. Well, all right, man. Have a good one. Go out and shoot a coyote and send me a picture of it, okay?
All right, sounds good, Scott. You have a good one.
You bet. Talk to you later. John Policheski here is Mountain Line Down. I wonder when they're going to report that one. Hopefully they'll get that one on the that's Zone 2. That's right. It's not going to be on the Zone 1 totals. And we'll see if we can find out what Zone 2 is. South Dakota, we'll get more information in that and get some of their, see if John Cant will be able to come on the show with me. And he's a fur bear guy down that way in the Game and Fish and Parks in South Dakota. We could do that. More coming up here on my daily program. You can always check that out at dakotaprairieoutdoors.com. And if you have more questions and comments, you can always email me, scott@ndsupernet.com. As we continue on with more coyote tournaments, Coyote Talk, Fur Bear. We have the last week in the North Dakota's deer season here. That stops on Tuesday, or Sunday, sorry. And this morning, it's the start of South Dakota's East River deer season. We can start on Monday. We can start using snares for fur taken on North Dakota side. And also Zone 1 mountain lion season opens up coming up this coming Monday. So a few things, and it's just because deer is winding down doesn't mean the rest isn't. Have yourself a good weekend. Thanks for listening to Dakota Prairie Outdoors. All right, Facebook, thanks for YouTube, thanks for tuning in here. Appreciate it. Jesse, I'll give you a call as soon as I hang up here.